Does the return of Dak Prescott mean a return to prominence for the Cowboys? How will Matthew Stafford go into Las Vegas? Into Los Angeles this year as the new gunslinger for the Rams? What about that Big D in DC? Will that defense help them repeat as division champs? What about the Seattle Seahawks? Do you think they still could be the Legion of Boom? Well, we're going to find out the answers to those questions, at least try to find the answers to those questions and many others as we bring you the fourth part of our four-part series here on Fantasy Football Fever, which starts right now. Happy 4th of July weekend, everybody. Once again, your Irish for coming up with that particular intro. I love it.
That's the fireworks show.
Yeah, that's basically our show. This is 4th of July weekend, 4th coming up 2 days from now. Right now it is Friday, July 2nd, 2021. It is 9:40 p.m. in my central time zone, which means it's 10:40 p.m. over on the East Coast. Thanks for joining us, everybody. I'm Ted McClellan, my friend Irene Namer that I just mentioned, Andrew St. Clair, our good friend from Georgia, our league commissioner, John Natale, and the host of Hooked on Sports podcast, John Flynn. How's everybody doing?
Great.
Wonderful. I'm very excited. I can't wait for football to start already. I'm just waiting.
So, are we like more than 2/3 done with the off season? The Super Bowl was 5 months ago, and now opening night is just a couple months away. We're more than 2/3 done with the off season.
Yeah. I agree. Preseason actually starts here, I believe, next month.
Yeah. And in more news, I did some adjustments a few days ago to the draft setup. Good news, this coming season, we're having expanded playoffs. 8 teams make the playoffs instead of 6.
Nice.
So nobody gets a bye. It's just straight up quarterfinal, semifinal, championship. And what was it? 15 games for the regular season. So that means what is it? Hold on. 14. Then 15, 16, 17. Championship will be week 17 instead of week 16.
Yeah, it's because of the extra game added on to the NFL schedule.
Right.
So those who didn't make the playoffs last year have 2 extra chances essentially.
Yeah, so that means under this year's format, Nels would have made the playoffs. I know that because it was between you, me, and Nels for those final 2 playoff spots.
Yeah. Nels and Tim were the odd people out last season.
Yeah.
And I dropped my thing about the acquisition limits. That's unlimited again.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah.
That's what kind of screwed me a little bit in the later part of the season. So so at least we took care of that. I will go ahead. I'll look at all that as soon as we get the show over with. So, but it sounds pretty good so far. Hey, before we begin, I was just going to mention this. We're talking about the NFC East and West on today's show. And Irene looks like she's got the news. If y'all haven't heard already, for the 20th season of Hard Knocks on HBO, they are featuring America's team, the Dallas Cowboys. And I should mention something. Of course, Stephen A. Smith had to say something about this. He, of course, mentioned that the 2 previous times that the Cowboys were on Hard Knocks was back in 2002 and in 2008. And both those seasons, the Cowboys did not make the playoffs.
Whoa.
So, so Stephen A. is probably thinking, well, they probably won't make the playoffs this time if they're going to be on Hard Knocks. But does anybody have anything to say about that?
Yeah.
If the Dallas Cowboys are an eligible team for Hard Knocks, they're going to feature the Dallas Cowboys. Plain and simple.
Well, I guess if I'm not mistaken, didn't Forbes magazine say that they are the most valuable franchise in all of sports?
Yes.
I believe they are. Yeah.
I mean, even more valuable than the New York Yankees.
That's what I saw.
No. Well, I think for football, when they think of football, they think of Cowboys. For baseball, it's Yankees. So for football, has been Cowboys probably most popular, most famous anyway.
Yeah, most popular league, I guess. I mean, yeah, I like baseball. I mean, I'm a Rangers fan. I'm a Cubs fan, so I like baseball too.
I found out it will definitely be featured in HBO Max and on HBO Live as well. Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to watching this. So basically, they're having a 30-person camera crew at the Cowboys training camp, and then it's gonna be like over 1,750 hours of footage. They already said it could possibly win an Emmy with if they win an Emmy with this episode included, that would be cool. And they've already won over 133 Emmys, so definitely, I'm proud that they're going to be featured in there. I'm looking very forward to seeing what other teams will be kicking off the season with this one, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, and of course, I remember watching Hard Knocks a couple of years ago when the Raiders were featured, and this was all about the Antonio Brown mess, that him wanting out of Pittsburgh, and all the missteps and the drama, and the coaching staff couldn't handle the drama. It became too much of an issue. So I'm going to see what are going to be the big issues with the Dallas Cowboys. Now, obviously, the big elephant in the room in terms of storylines is, of course, the Cowboys extending Dak Prescott. They finally got it done for a 4-year contract, but I'm going to be interested to see how the Cowboys do, particularly their defense. I think they did some good things this offseason in defense, and now in the era of social media, we're going to see how the Cowboys handle things, the players, the coaches, and Jerry Jones.
I will be interested to see how our new defensive coordinator, Dan Quinn, is going to work with that crew.
Oh, yeah, new coordinator, too.
Yeah, couldn't quite get the job done in Atlanta, but of course, I had to mention Atlanta because we know our good friend Jason Myers always says it. The Atlanta Falcons ain't shit. But anyway, why don't we talk about some other teams besides the Falcons?
We got another headline right here for you right now, when you're ready.
NFL announces outcome of Washington football team workplace review.
Yes, they could affect the team. You never know.
As Mr. Mackey would say, huh? I was hoping it'd be something like they finally came up with a name for the team.
I think if for all the names that I thought of for the legal names for Washington, that there are all the copyright and brand regulations that I found Tim's description to be to me the most effective, which a lot of times he called them the Washington No Names.
And of course, frequently our good friend Adam Oliver would call them the Washington Generics.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I'm surprised they still haven't come up with a name. Do they really care that much to reach out to the fans? And I'd say give the fans a chance to let their voice be heard. Figure out what name they want to give them.
Says yeah, and it's interesting because of because there was a team there was an NCAA program with a similar name in the early '90s, but then they had to change their name because the St. John's athletic teams they used to be known as the Redmen, but they changed their name in the mid '90s to come up with the St. John's Red Storm. The Washington football team, or as I like to call them, the Washington No Names, they should have been ahead of the curve on this, and that's why they're called the Washington football team.
Aha. And I say somebody knocks. Oh, we got it. Oh, we gotta get. Oh, we got a tally back in there. I thought somebody else was knocking, but anyway, why don't we go ahead and get into the meat of this program, which is taking a look at the NFC East and West divisions. Let us start in the East, or as we called them last year, the NFC least, because not a single team in that division finished with a 500 or better record. So why don't we start with those aforementioned Washington No Names? They finished the season last year 7-9. If I'm not mistaken, they were only the third team in the modern era to win a division with a sub 500 record.
Yeah, I know Seahawks were one of them. I don't know who the other is.
The Panthers.
Yeah,
the year before they went 15-1.
So they finished 7-9 last year. Looking at this year, their bye week is week 9. So that will be week 9 is November 7th. So it'll be a couple of weeks before Thanksgiving. Anyway, the Redskins actually now once again, before we get too far, what we're doing here is we're taking a look at the schedules of each of these teams right now. They just probably finished the mini camps, and OTAs are probably still going on. So right now, on paper, sight unseen, we're just figuring out how many wins and losses possible could be made by these teams. So going into the Redskins schedule, they start, or the no-name schedule. I keep wanting to call them the Redskins, so they've been that way for pretty much all my life. They begin at home for the first 2 games of the year. They're at home against the Rams, and they're at home against the Giants. So what do we see there?
So yeah, and I think I established last week, 2 weeks ago, when we were doing the AFC West, that I believe that Washington was going to no, what did I say for the game, guys? Did I pick I mean it probably doesn't matter for me until I officially lock my picks in for week 1, but yeah.
Okay. Oh, and by the way, did I say the Rams? I meant to say the Chargers.
Yeah.
They got the Chargers.
The Chargers and the Giants.
Yeah, the Chargers for week 1, the Giants for week 2.
I think it's going to be a loss to the Chargers. Beat the Giants at home, but then the Giants will split the series.
Yeah, because Daniel Jones is unbeaten in his short career against Washington. With how little the Giants have won the last couple of years, but he is 4-0 in his career against Washington. But I do think that streak ends in that Thursday night game. I just think. But if Washington in the second game, the Giants are up 20-3, but they barely got by because the Giants defense forced 5 turnovers, and you're not going to win many games if you give the ball away 5 times. I don't think it's going to happen this time. I'll take the Washington football team to win that game, and I also think that they can beat the Chargers.
Interesting. Then weeks 3 and 4 are road games. They head to Buffalo, then they head to Atlanta.
I
No loss in Buffalo.
say probably win for Buffalo. I give them 2 wins. I don't see Atlanta or Buffalo winning.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Bills in that one if everything is the same going into that game, and then I do like Washington going on the road
I'll
to
take the
knock out
Bills,
the
too.
Falcons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I think. I'll go with they might. I don't know. I say that the no names will lose to the Bills, but they will definitely win against the Falcons.
Yeah, for sure.
The next 2 games, weeks 5 and 6, they're both at home. They're home against New Orleans, and then they're at home against Kansas City.
Both losses.
Yeah, and the game I'm looking at the game against New Orleans. I think these are teams against two excellent rosters. Although I don't think their win-loss records will indicate the fact that they're top 5 to 10 rosters in the NFL. But I think I'll take the Saints to win that game because I think they have the better quarterback and the better coach. And I'll do the same thing with that week 6 game because I'll take the team with the better coach and better quarterback, and that'll be Kansas City over Washington. Oh no! I picked Washington when I came on 2 weeks ago. I picked Washington to upset Kansas City because of that defense.
Interesting. A tough defense versus a tough offense. That's always a sight to see. Then in weeks 7 and 8, they're on the road. Week 7 at Green Bay, and then week 8 at Denver.
Probably a loss to Green Bay and probably beat Denver.
Yeah, I'm on the same boat with you on that.
I'm gonna switch around. I think I think actually, I agree that there's Green Bay, but Denver, well, gotta see how they're doing this season here. I see this too close. I see them. I think they're going to may go into a tie. And besides, it's also on Halloween Day.
Right.
The Broncos will win again. The Broncos
Anyway, after their bye week in week 9, they go at home against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Automatic, no question.
I'm gonna put that's a toss up for me.
Yeah, I'm going to pick Washington here, guys. I think because look at the times where Brady has lost in big spots. Now this is a 1 o'clock game in November, right down the middle of the season. But the games where Tom Brady has struggled throughout the course of his career, and it doesn't matter whether he was in his late 20s or just a few years ago, where Tom Brady has always struggled against teams that came with a relentless pass rush. Because the 3 times he's lost in the Super Bowl, the 2 times against the Giants, and one against Philadelphia, that said that the idea to beating a Tom Brady-esque team is you have to play 60 minutes of football, and what the Eagles did, offensively, they did everything they can to rack up yardage, maximize the talent on the field, and keep Tom Brady off the field. Am I doing that? Although Tom Brady just torched that Philadelphia secondary in that Super Bowl. It was that all Philadelphia really needed was one defensive stop, and they got a strip sack from Brandon Graham to wound up winning that game. And if it wasn't for a pass rush, if the Giants never had a pass rush, if the Eagles didn't have the pass rush and establish themselves as a frontline team when they have to, we were talking about Brady winning 10 championships. So I'm gonna, and
The
I
way,
think.
the way. See, let me explain. Like, I want to tell you, the way I look at this is, I compare I consider Washington football team like Miami Dolphins or like a light team. It's not like a hardcore team. Didn't we say like on one of the teams we thought they were gonna win like 11 out of 12 games or like almost all the games? I forgot which one we decided on last time.
I wasn't here last week, so I wouldn't have been able to tell. But with the way Washington built their team, that the strength of their team is their front seven, and they have like guys like Montez Sweat and Chase Young. Chase Young is a generational talent. He can wreck a strong offensive line. You put him up against Tristan Wirfs, and it's going to be a battle that I think Chase Young can win.
Yes.
Yeah, so I've got Washington losing at Green Bay, but I think they can go to Denver and take down the Broncos on October 31st. After the bye week, like I said, Washington is at home against Tampa Bay.
They won't
That is going to be a hard sell right there. I mean, even though it's Tom Brady.
I'm telling you, they're going to lose it. This is the way I look at it. Don't get me wrong. They're a great team. It's like Miami Dolphins, but they're going to get pushed over because it's just the power of that other team. It's just, I've seen them play together. It doesn't end up well. I can already tell you. I think Buccaneers is going to bring it down. I really believe so. I don't know if Flynn was here last time or not. I think it was one or two. He was at the last show. No, 2 shows ago or something. We said that 11 out of 12 teams. I don't remember. It was either Kansas City or it was Tampa Bay. You'll have to look back. But we said that there was gonna be a team that had perfect seasons.
Yeah, but also look too. Washington's coming off their bye week, and Tampa doesn't have their bye week until I believe week 13 or 14 of the season. You can scroll down to Tampa's schedule and take a look at when their bye week is.
Yeah.
Because I want to see when that is.
Yeah, I mean, with that front seven challenging Tom Brady, that is going to be something to see. I mean, I would love to see that. And
Tampa's coming off a bye week too. Then you can go back up to Washington's schedule.
I think it's hard to beat Tampa. They're already betting sites are already predicting like. You could literally bet on Tampa Bay right now for Super Bowl.
I wouldn't doubt that.
Kansas City might even come back too. Those two teams play really good.
Especially with the way Kansas City approached their offensive line issues, I could certainly see Kansas City going back to the Super Bowl. Absolutely.
Oh my God! Is it possible that they're gonna have like a perfect season, like no losses at all? Possibly. Is that possible?
There's only been since that 72 Dolphins team. There's only been one team that's had an undefeated regular season, and with the addition of the 17th game, it makes that perfect season feat that much harder.
Yeah, I want to see, either team. It doesn't matter if it's the Buccaneers or the Kansas City. I want to see one of them get a perfect season. It would be like a miracle. Whoever does that, it would be beautiful.
Absolutely, because that would be a pipe dream for the NFL because they can market because it makes it that much easier to market a guy like Tom Brady or a guy like Patrick Mahomes. Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes are the two most marketable players in the NFL. There's no
Yeah.
question about it. And Tom Brady going from New England to Tampa, yes, but Brady will always be synonymous with the Patriots dynasty. There's no question about that. But for sales in the future, having Tom Brady and Tampa filling out all these jerseys, it'll be that much easier to get fans and even the young fans to appreciate the greatness of Tom Brady.
Yeah, that is going. In fact, I'm going to put a circle around that one. Sunday,
I'm a Tom
November
Brady
14th.
fan, but I wouldn't mind if Patrick Mahomes beats him this time because I just feel like this. Patrick Mahomes is young, and I want him to succeed in life. You know what I mean? It would be fine for me to see. I'm a very big Tom Brady fan, but I don't mind if Mahomes beats him this time. It wouldn't matter because Tom Brady's going to retire soon. I don't know when he is, but it's about time already.
Yeah, but if last season proved anything, Tom Brady doesn't care that Father Time exists. He won the Super Bowl at age 43 as a quarterback, as the starting quarterback of an NFL franchise.
Yeah, but remember, Father Time always beats everybody. So it's just going to be a matter of time. Just see that, Well, anyway, continuing with the Washington schedule, November 21st, week 11, they're on the road at Carolina.
A win.
Yeah, I'll take Washington. If I was to pick that game right now, I'd take Washington.
Then they're back home the next week, Monday Night Football at home against the Seahawks.
That's a tough one, but Seattle's offensive line is a disaster, and they didn't do anything to address it during the offseason. If I was looking at that game, I'd pick Washington to win that game by 10, 15 points.
Yeah, that's a toss-up for me.
Yeah, and I still have no idea how all the because Irene wasn't part of this last year. I have no idea why none of you picked the Rams to beat Seattle that day. The Rams had the better coach and the better defense, so I'll take Washington to beat Seattle in that game.
Week 13, December 5th, they are at Las Vegas.
Yeah, that's going to be a tricky one because they're out to the West Coast. So I'll take the Raiders.
Yeah, I'll probably take the Raiders too. Okay, now get these last 5 games on the schedule. This is pretty crazy. Y'all can see it right there on that schedule for Washington. Yeah. December 12th, they're at home against the Cowboys.
Well, that'll be a series split too.
So they will win at home, but they will lose at AT&T. So then the very next week, they're on the road to Philadelphia.
I think Washington's going to sweep them.
Washington will sweep them, yes.
Okay. And then after that, the football team goes to Dallas.
I think Dallas wins.
Dallas.
And then they were at home against Philadelphia.
They'll win
And they
against
sweep the Eagles. And then they're at the New York Giants to wrap up the season.
And the Giants take the last game.
Yeah, we're on the same boat.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Giants.
Yeah, they'll take it.
So right now, aside from the November 14th game at home against Tampa Bay, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, maybe 10 wins, and maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 losses.
Ooh, that's a close one.
I counted the wins and losses. I because with my numbers, I have Washington winning 12 games. If based on our discussions tonight, 12-5.
So I guess maybe they had the over under for wins was like 9 or 10, maybe.
Yeah, let me check what the over under is for Washington.
Because last year they finished 7-9, but it was the defense that held through in the end. But now, looking at this schedule, I see a huge improvement. They just might win the division again with this kind of record.
The best game to bet on out of all of these would, for me personally, would be the Buccaneers win against the Washington. I think that's the most reliable. See, I'm a sports bettor, so like I like to bet on certain games. I can already tell you, I'm betting like for the Kansas City Chiefs and the one with the Buccaneers. I'm gonna pick those two teams, but I think they're gonna have a decent season, the Washington. But to bet, I would. For the game that I would bet on the Washington against, I believe that the two Eagles games, I would bet on Washington against the Eagles. And maybe that would be like a plus sign, so I would make more money on that bet.
Yeah, and there are people that think the Eagles are going to be the worst team in the NFC this year, and that could add to that point. But I saw the over under for Washington in wins losses is 8.
Mm-hmm.
And also don't forget because yes, Washington went 7-9, but don't let the fact that they had a losing record discard the fact that they had a plus point differential. So that their defense was so good that it didn't matter all the problems that Washington had at quarterback. That Dwayne Haskins he was a disaster, and then Kyle Allen tears his ACL, and then Alex Smith comes back, and he was And then Taylor Heineke almost beat the Buccaneers in the playoffs. Almost beat Brady in the playoffs. That's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, that's Washington was top 10 defense last season too.
Yeah, a perfect example of what kind of front seven the no names have.
Yeah.
You saw what happened on Thanksgiving Day last year, right?
Yeah,
that front seven totally sliced, diced, and shredded the Cowboys.
And also don't forget, Antonio Gibson ran for 3 touchdowns and over 100 yards rushing. That too.
Right.
See, and people are sleeping on Washington. If Washington had a quarterback that was above the likes of Fitzpatrick, I would have picked Washington as one of the on the short list of teams to go to the Super Bowl. Because if they had a franchise quarterback now, I still think that they're the best team in the division, no matter who starts Washington, whether it's Taylor Heineke or Ryan Fitzpatrick. And I do like the Ryan Fitzpatrick signing a lot of more than most. But I think you have to think whoever's the quarterback for Washington, they're going to be the best team in the division.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, let's continue with the East now. The New York Football Giants. They just finished. They finished in a tie with the Cowboys for the record. However, the Giants did get the advantage, so they finished second place with a record of 6-10. The Giants' bye week is at week 10, so it'll be the third week in November right there. So we already established that the Washington football team will pretty much sweep the Giants.
I think we said split.
No, we said a split.
Oh, split. Okay, so they'll lose in Washington, but they'll win at home. Okay, so I'll just adjust that a little bit here, and let's start the season. The Giants start the season at home against the Denver Broncos.
Yeah,
I'll put that as a win.
You see, I took the Giants in that game.
Okay, so Giants could Beat the Broncos there. They're at Washington week 2. We already established that would be a loss. They're back. Giants are back home September 26th, week 3, at home against the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah,
I'll put that as a win.
This is a tough one to pick, but I'll take the Giants at home. I mean, given that they have extended rest from playing a few extra days off thanks to the Thursday night game.
Yeah, because the Falcons. Falcons
The
ain't
game
shit.
that really sticks out to me the most for the New York Giants, the two that, or three of them, the Kansas City Chiefs against the New York Giants. I can already see that Kansas City's going to win. And then the one for Miami Dolphins, I can already see that Miami Dolphins is probably going to lose. And then for the Buccaneers, I believe Buccaneers will win. So I can tell you those, and that's cool that they're on a Monday. I like that.
Hey, slow down, Speedy. We ain't got there yet.
Sorry.
We'll get to those, but I think I see your points on those games. So anyway, the Giants are on the road at New Orleans October 3rd.
Yeah, I just think the Saints have a much better culture and
Yes.
Okay. Week 5, the Giants are at Dallas.
I'm taking the Cowboys. You taking your Cowboys, Tim, on that game?
Yeah, I have Cowboys too, but I see a split for their series.
Hmm.
I see a sweep of the Cowboys over the Giants.
I'm kind of leaning toward Andrews thinking right there. There is a possibility for a split, but I'm thinking more of a sweep maybe.
I think Cowboys is going to win that one. I'm serious.
Week 6 and 7 see the Giants on the road. First, they go to visit the LA Rams, and then they go visit the Carolina Panthers.
They're home against the Rams and Panthers.
Oh yes, they are home against the Rams and the Panthers. I could probably see the Rams taking down the Giants in that one.
Yeah, I know that game is played at MetLife Stadium on my birthday, so and that's a game I might be going to.
Ooh, nice.
Hopefully, I'll be going to a game, but I'll tell you about that here in a little while.
Yeah, and also Natalia, did you see that the game against Atlanta is they're going to retire Eli Manning's number 10?
Oh wow! Yeah, I'll have to keep my eye on that one.
That will be cool.
Yeah, but but going back down, I see the Rams beating the Giants, and I'll take the Giants to beat the Panthers that next week.
Same thing for me.
Okay. The game I re-mentioned, November 1st, Week 8, Giants at Kansas City.
Naturally, the Giants have Monday Night Football games on the road against the teams that made the Super Bowl last season against Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes. How is that even in the legal system? Please, I'll take Kansas City to win that game by 10
Why
points.
is it also on a, I'm sorry to ask, but why, maybe you might know the answer to this. Why are those two games in particular on a Monday like that? Is that purpose?
But I mean, look at this. That you have Patrick Mahomes. That they schedule a game with Patrick Mahomes as the quarterback. The Chiefs are home, and they're playing. And the Chiefs are playing a team that's from the biggest market in North American sports in New York. The team that's more representative of the biggest market is the Giants, and you're not going to see you're only going to see 1 to 2 primetime games a year for the Jets if they continue their losing ways. So you have to find a way to represent to get New York City involved, And to do that, you need to have storylines like it's like the Giants and the Chiefs, and then Tom Brady taking on the team he lost he lost
Oh,
twice
so
in the
this is
Super
like a
Bowl.
promotion for Monday Night Football in a sense.
Yeah, but also think about this too. That how many times you can take let's take out the game against the Cowboys. That's going to be that's going to take up a lot of the country. That you need to have there are some big Giants fans that are not from the New York City area. And Exhibit A down below with John Natale. And that they need to get some they want to see the Giants play and when you have all these games on Fox, so that not every that not you're probably going to be watching a team other than the Giants, unless of course it's a West Coast East Coast game. So
Oh yeah, it helps even it out.
so for example, that the game on October 17th against the Rams, right? You have the two largest markets. You're going to have the other three teams in the division are playing in the 4 o'clock Eastern slot, right? And so they need to they're probably gonna you would probably get some divisional games because those are the teams that are competing with the Rams, like Seattle, like Arizona, like San Francisco. All those teams are capable of going to the playoffs.
Right.
Uh-huh. Well, anyway, after the Kansas City game, the Giants will be home against the Raiders.
Yeah, I'm taking the Giants.
Me too.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone's taking the Raiders on that one.
No, I'm taking the Giants.
Okay, taking the Giants. I'm going to put a question mark on that one. That's kind of hard for me to call right now.
I'd say Giants.
Yeah, like John Gruden's teams the Raiders almost never win on the East Coast. And remember they barely beat the Jets last year. It took a Greg Williams it took a Greg Williams all-out pass rush for the Raiders to beat the Jets in that game last year. Remember that miracle play that was from Derek Carr. I believe it went to that miracle pass went to Henry Ruggs at the end of that game. You have to, you can't go all out when you have a receiver as fast as Henry Ruggs out on the field. You just can't. And Greg Williams was fired the next day because of it.
Yeah. So then, week 10, the Giants will have their bye, and we mentioned the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Also, Monday night game. We were talking about that, where you pretty much.
I'm just going to wing it and say the Giants win that one.
Why?
Because of the Giants' history against Brady.
But I mean, to be fair, the Giants have that one random game they win. Nobody thought the Giants would go to Seattle and beat Seattle. I'm not going to pick the Giants to win this game, but there's always that random game where the Giants are the inferior team based on paper and based on talent, and they go on the road and win a football game like that.
Yeah.
Now,
I think this could be the random one.
That would be something. November 28th, Giants are at home against the Eagles.
Split
I'm taking
series.
the Giants.
But
Giants.
Yeah, and I think they're gonna split the two games again.
So they'll go to Philly week 16. That's December 26th. December 5th and 12th, road games. Giants head to Miami, then they go to the Chargers.
I think they beat Miami, but lose to LA.
Miami, I think, might be a toss-up, but I listen. I'm rooting for Miami Dolphins. I really want them to win. It could be a toss-up, but then again, they might lose. So I'm just gonna say Giants is gonna win that, and the Chargers. I think Giants is gonna win that possibly.
Yeah, I could see because Tal, I was mentioning that random game. I could see that game against the Chargers being that random win.
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
think
it's
I
possible.
don't. Yeah, I'm not sure if they could beat Miami, but Miami. I think everything with Miami is going to be set upon how much Tua improves from year one to year two. And if Tua
Hmm.
plays like he was a rookie, there's no way the Dolphins are going to make the playoffs. But playing
Right.
if I mean, he doesn't if he doesn't progress, they're not going to make the playoffs this season. And no matter how well coach no matter what the culture Brian Flores has put together in Miami.
Yeah, I don't see the Dolphins are a playoff team in either case.
Nah, not quite. Not quite. They'll get there somehow, but probably not this year. Anyway, I got the Giants on the road beating Miami, but they'll probably lose in Los Angeles to the Chargers. December 19th, the Giants are home against the Cowboys. I'm calling the sweep. I'm calling the sweep.
No,
All right.
I'm taking the Giants in that game.
I'm taking a split as well.
All right. Well, I'm calling a sweep on that one. January 2nd, Giants are on the road at the Chicago Bears.
Giants.
Remember the Giants have the Bears first round pick this year. So if the Giants win that game, the Bears first round the pick they're gonna get back will be a better pick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but if Matt Nagy can't get out of his own way, I mean, he's starting Andy Dalton week one. How do you not start Justin Fields? I mean, it's Matt. Do Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace really want their jobs after the season? Remember, they barely made the playoffs last year, and the Bears retained Nagy and Pace on the sole fact that they made the playoffs last year.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say once again, I think Matt Nagy has the hottest seat of any head coach this year.
Oh yeah.
So going through, and we said final week, Giants are at home against the no names. Said Giants probably win that one.
Yeah, I took the Giants.
So count this up: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Except for that one game against Las Vegas, I got the Giants improving by one game this year. So they finished 6-10 last year. I see them at least maybe 7-9. But like I said, this is like right now. So I don't see them before training camps, before any preseason begins, before any roster cuts. We're just seeing what it looks like on paper right now. Now it's time to talk about. Oh boy. It's time for me to put my money where my mouth is, I guess. It's time to talk about America's team. I guess that's why I'm wearing this American flag type shirt here. Well, and besides the fact that it is 4th of July weekend right here. Anyway, we got the Dallas Cowboys now. They finished with a record of 6-10 last year. Their bye week is week 7. And I guess we all know that not only will the Cowboys play the first preseason game of the year, which is the Hall of Fame game against the Steelers, but we know Thursday, September 9th, very first game of the regular season, the Cowboys go on the road to Tampa Bay, and we pretty much said earlier when we were previewing the NFC North and South that the Cowboys would lose to Tampa Bay, or at least that's what I think. Have a lot of people on this one Cowboys fan page on Facebook that says that the Cowboys can actually beat Tom Brady. If they do that, it will probably be the second greatest upset in sports history next to the Miracle on Ice. That's how I see it. But let's see what happens here. So, week 2, the Cowboys are at the Chargers.
Yeah, I think I took the Cowboys when we looked at this game a couple weeks ago.
I don't remember what I said.
I don't remember what I said either. I've got those other papers that I've got them stacked somewhere around here. But I think the Cowboys may start 0-2 for the season. They start 0-2, but then next 3 games are at home. Monday Night Football, September 27th. This is the game I want to go to. Cowboys home opener against those filthy Philadelphia Chickens.
Yeah, I think I could see the Cowboys sweeping the Eagles.
Yes.
A sweep of the Eagles. The Cowboys will be in Philadelphia for Week 18, which is January 9th. Next game, the Cowboys are at home against Carolina Panthers.
That's a win.
Yeah.
Would
Lose?
win. I said
Win. Oh, okay. Oh, I guess Andrew had to jump off. I guess.
Andrew had to log
went
off
to
for
bed,
that.
but I'm here. Don't worry.
Okay.
I literally bet on these games, so don't worry. They'll win. They'll win, absolutely. And for the New York Giants as well, they'll win.
Well, I hate to see Andrew jump off so quick. I just want to say, Andrew, happy 4th of July, buddy. Stay safe out there.
Today.
And Sunday, October 10th, Cowboys are at home against the New York Giants. We said win. Actually, I said sweep. So they'll play against the Giants December 9th in New York. Cowboys are on the road October 17th against the Patriots. I can actually see a win.
Toss up, but they'll win.
See, I'm taking the Patriots because I think that their improved roster is going to play a role in this game. I'll take the Patriots.
I'm just going to talk for me.
But I have a question for Flint. Flint, how will does Cam Newton really play that good lately, or we don't know yet because we haven't even seen how he plays.
Thinking about who the coach is, right? Because if Cam Newton doesn't play well, guess what? Guess who's the starting quarterback? Mr. Mac Jones. And Mac Jones can absolutely. With the roster they have, with the improved offensive line,
what's your percentage of I'm just for Tim's sake because that's his favorite team. What's the percentage of estimation? Just estimate how much will Kansas City win? How much will Patriots win? What's your percentage around?
I mean, I talking about New England, Kansas City, or New England, Dallas?
For Dallas Cowboys against the Patriots.
It's I think if this was a game if I was handicapping now, I'd pick the Patriots to win by a field goal.
Oh my God! Wow. Yeah, then probably Patriots will win. But you never know.
Come to think of it, Cam Newton has kind of baffled the Cowboys in years past, back when he was still with the Panthers.
That's the concern.
But also the Cowboys never can. And also the reason why I know the Giants have had so many issues against mobile quarterbacks, because there's a team like the Cowboys, like the Giants. They always plan their defensive rebuilds around they always revolve around stopping mobile around pocket passer quarterbacks because if you want to win championship, you know there's going to be a pocket passer that's going to be out there, and in the previous 4 Super Bowl appearances for the Giants, they faced pocket passers. Trent Dilfer, remember everyone remembers the Ravens for that defense, but Trent Dilfer had some big plays in that game to help the Ravens offense. So and he was a pocket passer. Jim Kelly was a pocket passer, but the John Elway in the mid '80s was more of a wild card because he could always he ran for a touchdown in that Super Bowl to give the Broncos the early lead in that game. But the Giants have always been successful defensively against pocket passers because that's where they put their focus on when they go through draft evaluations and when they go through when they go through who can rush the quarterback.
Yeah, so that'll be an interesting game to see. Like I said, bye week is week 7 for the Cowboys. They go following week. They go travel to Minnesota to take on the Vikings.
Ooh, I'm going to put that toss up.
I'll take the Cowboys coming off the bye week.
So I'll take the Cowboys.
Yeah, I think I will too. I'll have to nag Neil Snezrud for the days upcoming before that games here. Cowboys are at home for a couple of games. The November 7th and the 14th. Cowboys are at home against the Denver Broncos and against the Atlanta Falcons. I can see wins both games.
Both of
Yeah.
them. Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised if Atlanta goes on the road and knocks off the Cowboys because remember Atlanta. Remember they barely got past Atlanta because they needed a miracle comeback to beat Atlanta.
Oh my gosh. How could I possibly forget that game? Atlanta had a victory right in the palms of their hands, and they just gave that victory to the Cowboys. They just gave it to them.
And they changed some gameplay rule which made it a lot harder for the kicking team to recover an onside kick, and yet the Cowboys recovered that onside kick, and that set up the winning field goal.
Yeah, the only reason the Cowboys recovered is because the Falcons just stood there.
And also think about this too that the Falcons play like a. That it was clear even before last season the Falcons needed the culture change, and that meant getting rid of Dan Quinn, that meant getting rid of their general manager Thomas Dimitrov, and then bringing in Terry Fontenot and bringing in Arthur Smith to change the culture. And we can talk you can talk a lot about Atlanta, but Arthur Smith can flat out coach, and it's evident based on the last 2.5 seasons and him cracking the code on Derrick Henry, which other offensive coordinators couldn't take care of.
Yeah, well, we'll just see what happens here. November 21st, Cowboys on the road at KC.
I'll take the I'll take the Chiefs.
Yeah.
My two favorite teams play against each other at Arrowhead this year. So then the Cowboys are back home for Thanksgiving against Las Vegas Raiders.
I'm taking Dallas.
Here lately, the Cowboys have not had good record the last few years on Thanksgiving. But I see a win here. I see a win on Thanksgiving. They can't lay me down. And December 2nd, the Cowboys are at New Orleans.
I'm gonna take New Orleans.
Ooh, that's gonna be that's gonna be a tricky game to pick, but I'll take New Orleans. Yeah, I'm with you guys there.
I'm putting a question mark on that one. I can't figure that one out right now. But I can figure out that the Cowboys go to Washington on December 12th.
Cowboys should win.
No, we said split. We said Washington wins in Washington, Dallas wins in Dallas.
Yeah. Yeah, we did say that. So that is a loss there. And Washington comes to Dallas on December 26th, week 16. That's a win there. And we said, I said the Cowboys would win at the New York Giants on week 15, December 19th. So next one, January 2nd, the Cowboys are at home against the Cardinals.
I'll take the Cardinals on the road.
I'm gonna take the Cowboys.
I'm gonna take the Cardinals.
Cowboys.
I have to go. I hate to say it, it's a home game, but I say Kyler Murray probably got something up his sleeve. So the Cowboys may lose that game, But from what I see from here, we got 1, 2,
Never know
3,
because
4.
I think the Cowboys has a better team together, a better coach.
Okay, is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11? At least 11 victories, and I counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe at least 5 losses, and I still got that question mark with the Saints game in New Orleans on December 2nd. So actually, this year, if it goes the way it is, this would be a major improvement for the Cowboys. It looks like they could be in the running for the NFC East title with them and the Washington football team. It may come down to the last week to see what happens there. Now, let's talk about. Oh, do we have to? Yeah, we got to. Let's get the chicken schedule up now. The Philadelphia Chickens. They finished 4-11 last year. It seems to me they may have a lot of good talent, but for some strange reason,
I just wanted to show you too.
Yes,
we got some new players. You know what I mean? The Cowboys that could bring some trouble. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, with their draft picks and their free agent signings that they had.
Trouble. So the Cardinals, they might have a hard time. You never know. I think,
but I mean, I've been screaming the last couple of years that if the Cowboys were really serious about winning the championship, that they needed to start drafting on defense. And not only did they draft one of the 3 guys I wanted them to draft, Micah Parsons, the others being Gregory Rousseau and Patrick Surtain. Patrick Surtain went the pick before they were supposed to pick, and then because both of their targets were off the board at 8 and 9. And J.C. Horn went number 8 to Carolina, number 9 to Denver. That's when the Cowboys pulled a trade to get a 3rd round pick back from the Eagles, so the Eagles could go up and ahead of the Giants and draft Devontae Smith, and the Cowboys they could use a pick to desperately address their linebacker situation, which was less clear until they drafted Parsons.
But anyway, I see a good improvement for the Cowboys this coming year. Don't know anything about the Eagles though. The Eagles don't have a bye week until week 14, second week of December.
Ooh.
And they finished with a record of 4-11. Eagles start on the road against the Falcons.
I'm taking the Falcons.
Yeah, it's a hard one. I'm going to take the Falcons too.
Yeah, I think it would be one of those victories that the Falcons will take that one. Eagles have their home opener the next week, week 2, against the 49ers.
I'm taking the Niners.
49ers.
This is a tricky one for me because we don't know who's going to be starting for the 49ers, whether it's going to be Trey Lance, whether it's going to be Jimmy Garoppolo. I would expect Kyle Shanahan to start Jimmy Garoppolo. Although if I was the coach, I would start Trey Lance week 1 because the 49ers traded up 9 spots and gave a lot of draft capital to draft him. And also this is the Jalen Hurts' first full season in Philadelphia. Philadelphia's offense is not going to be that bad, but I just think the defense is going to be a nightmare for those diehard Eagles fans.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but so I'm gonna leave that as blank.
Okay. Yeah, I got them losing at home to San Francisco. Then the Cowboys go. That Monday night game against the Cowboys, we all said the Cowboys would probably take that one.
Mm-hmm.
October 3rd, Eagles are at home against Kansas City.
Kansas City.
That's another
Kansas
loss.
City.
Another loss. October 10th on the road at Carolina.
I'll take the
That's prob-
Panthers.
I don't know. I'm on the fence on this one.
Loss.
October 4th.
Toss up for me on that one.
Toss up with the Eagles at Carolina.
Yeah.
October 14th, the Eagles are at home against Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay.
I'll take Tampa.
October 24th at Las Vegas.
Eagles.
Lost again.
Who did I take for that? Because I remember where this game was brought up. Yeah, I took the Raiders in that game.
So that's another loss. Wow, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 losses in a row. Did we mention that the Eagles could beat the Lions on Halloween in Detroit?
Yeah,
I believe so.
See, yeah, I would pick the Eagles in that game.
November 7th on the road at the Chargers.
Chargers.
Yeah, I'm taking the Chargers.
They're in their they're at home against the Chargers. November 14th on the road at Denver.
The Broncos will win.
I'm leaning towards Denver.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking that way. I'm thinking that way too. At home, November 21st against the Saints.
Saints will win.
Saints.
I'll take the Saints.
And then they got the double New York special, 28th against the Giants in New York, and then they stay in New York for the Jets.
Lose to the Giants, beat the Jets.
Yes.
Something tells me it's almost like would I be wrong to say that the New York Jets are kind of like the AFC equivalent of the Atlanta Falcons?
That's a fair assessment.
I just think looking at the rosters, I can't name I can maybe name one team that has a worse roster than Philadelphia, and my premise is that Philadelphia's defense, yes, they have veterans in on the defensive line, like Fletcher Cox is still there, Brandon Graham's still there, but they don't have a legit linebacker, they don't have a legit secondary. That the back seven is going to be the Eagles might have the worst back seven in the NFL, but aside from the Houston Texans, who have nobody.
Right.
Yeah. So I can see the Eagles beating the Jets there. Then they have their bye week, and then December 19th, Eagles are at home against the football team. They're at home against the Giants.
Yeah, I think Natalie said a sweep for Washington. I'm saying a split.
Sweep of Washington. What did I say for the Eagles games? Yeah, I said Washington would probably sweep the Eagles. Let me see. Yep. I said sweep, and Eagles will be at home against the Giants on December 26th.
Flynn had to log off.
Okay. So, so Flynn had to log off. Okay, well, happy 4th of July, Flynn. Looks like, we kind of started a little late. We may have to postpone our NFC West preview for next week. We may have to extend this thing anyway.
No, just going if you want. I'm staying, so don't worry.
Okay,
It's up to you, Tim. Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, it is getting a little bit late. It's like 10:48 here, which means it's 11:48 over on the East Coast, almost midnight. So
Okay, so you want to stop after this one then?
yeah, well, after this one, we'll do the NFC West next week.
I will
Okay.
stay if you don't have to worry. I'm staying.
That's all right. And, then we said December 26th, the Eagles are at home against the Giants.
Eagles are home. I would take the Eagles, and I have the split.
Eagles should win, but it might be toss-up potentially.
Then we said that they would lose at Washington, and then the Eagles are at home against the Cowboys.
The Cowboys would win that one.
Yeah, I see a Cowboys sweep of the Eagles this year. So
yeah, I think I said that too, if I remember correctly.
3, 4, 5. So this may be like a 1-game improvement for the Eagles this year. Got 5 wins right here, right on paper, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 losses here. So yeah, that would be right now. That would be a 1-game improvement from last year.
Yeah, and still last place.
Yeah. But they'll still be in the cellar of the NFC East. Yeah, it is kind of late, and we kind of started a little bit late. I had to run some errands for a friend of mine, and in the middle of running those errands, it just poured down rain. It was flooding everywhere in town. Yeah, I think part of the place where I live is kind of flooded a little bit. May have to help out a couple of guys here. Hopefully it didn't flood anywhere in my room. At least I haven't really checked yet. I should have done that. But anyway, I think we're just going to go ahead and wrap up shop for this week. I know we were supposed to cover the NFC Western Division, but we can do that next week. We'll do that. We can plan on doing that next Friday. Probably start at the same time, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. Try to do an early show at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. So just spread the word around. I'll make notes for everybody. So I want to thank Andrew St. Clair and of course our friend John Flynn. Don't forget, folks. Wherever you listen to podcasts, look up Hooked on Sports with John Flynn, and you're always going to get some real good stuff out of him. So anyway, that's our show for today. John Natale, our commissioner, thanks for making those changes to our league. I'm going to look them over. And my technical director, Irene, thanks for the wonderful graphics here. I mean, it's appropriate since we're coming up on 4th of July this Sunday. Like I said, we're going to get together hopefully next Friday night, go through the NFC West. So to all of you out there, thanks for watching us. If you're going to go to parties this year or whatever you do, please don't drink and drive. If you drive, don't drink. If you drink, don't drive. Just be safe with those firecrackers out there because we want all y'all to join us next week for our next show, which is now going to be expanded as a 5-week series now. So we'll be talking about the NFC West on next week's show. So for my friends Andrew St. Clair, John Flynn, John Natale, and Irene Neighbor, my name is Tim McClellan. Have a happy and safe 4th of July, everyone. God bless you. God bless America. And as always, be a good sport. See ya.
Hey, the graphic.
Yes.